Hey guys, Stephen Cox here, and today we're going to learn how to tap on the U bass. If you like videos like these, please subscribe below and consider becoming a patron so that you can request your very own arrangement or lesson video. So tapping is a technique where we basically push down with our fingers pretty hard in order to make a sound with only one hand, not needing to use both. It's kind of this motion, so it's almost like you're pinching, but this finger is reacting more like a hammer, where it's hitting hard and you're driving into the other finger, which means you're not bouncing off immediately. So kind of like that. You can kind of hear that I can make a sound like that. So if you're doing it hard enough to make a sound like that, then that's probably hard enough to tap. Once again, this works better on the rubber strings rather than the metal strings, so I highly recommend using the polyurethane, or I like to call them rubber strings. And basically what you do is you just push down with enough force in between two frets. You gotta make sure you're really centered in that space between the two pieces of metal. So if I'm on the 3rd fret, I'm right between those two pieces of metal. And then you hold it down after your hands hit so that it rings out rather than bouncing away from it like that. So now that we've got the idea of tapping, we know that we can do it with the pointer finger on this hand. We can do it with any finger on that hand, right? And then on this hand, we can do notes as well. So it's a little bit weirder on the right hand because our hand's at a different angle. What I like to do is I like to anchor my thumb on top of the neck, just on that thin little part up there. And that way I can pivot off of that to help me be more accurate as I'm trying to tap. So right there I was tapping on the 12th fret on the D string and the G string, which we'll do in the song. So now that we understand tapping, let's just jump right in. So the first thing we're going to do, our left hand pointer finger is going to tap the 3rd fret on the E string. Then our ring finger is going to tap the 5th fret on the D string. Now we're going to go over to our right hand. It's going to tap the 12th fret on the D string, then the 12th fret on the G string. So we've got. So just take your time getting accurate with that, because it's going to happen a lot in this song. So we do that twice. 3, 5, 12, 12. 3, 5, 12, 12. Then now we're going to tap the 10th fret on the G string. And if you notice you're getting a lot of fret buzz, try to really center between the frets. So after we've played that 2 times, then we play the 10th fret on the G string. Now we're going to play the 3rd fret on the A string with our left hand. Then the 5th fret on the G string, still with our left hand, this time our ring finger. And then we're going to tap the 9th fret on the G string. Then I like doing this like a hammer-on, so I'm leaving that pointer finger down, then using my middle finger to tap the 10th fret on the G string. So far we've got. So let's play that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to play that whole pattern, that entire pattern, 3 times. So let's just go ahead and do that so you get the idea. The last time through is going to sound like this. So basically what I'm doing there, I'm still starting with the 3rd fret on the E string, the 5th fret on the D string, then the 12th fret on the D string, and the 12th fret on the G string. But then this time, right after I do that one time, I'm going to go down to the 3rd fret on the A string with my left hand, and then the 5th fret on the G string, and tap that note. And then I'm going to go to the 9th fret on the G string, then the 10th fret again, kind of like we did before. So after I do that, I'm going to kind of pull off from the 10th fret to the 9th fret. And basically what that means is my pointer finger has stayed down the entire time once I put the 9th fret down. Right? And then my middle finger is lifting up with enough force while leaving the pointer finger down solid, really pushed in, so that it's like I'm plucking the string with the middle finger as I'm releasing to play that 9th fret note. Then we're going to shift down, so our pointer finger is going to get the 7th fret on the G string. Then we're going to hammer on with our ring finger or middle finger. I like the ring finger better. And that's going to hit the 9th fret on the G string. And then we're going to pull off like we did before, over only here, back to the 7th fret. So that means our pointer finger's staying down. And so that whole little part is going to be 7th fret, hammer on to 9th fret, pull back off to 7th fret on the G string. And then we're going to pull our pointer finger off while keeping our ring finger down on the 5th fret of the G string. Notice that it's been down the entire time. So that way we get an extra pull off from the 7th fret to the 5th fret. So let's play that 4th time through the pattern together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to go through the entire pattern again, and since we've already done this, let's just play it together. So the first 3 times are like our original pattern that we learned, and then the 4th time through is what we just covered. So here's all that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we just did there, after we've done that entire thing 2 times, now we're going to go to the bridge section. And the bridge section still has a lot of tapping. Our hands are closer together on this section, so it's a little bit tricky because we're kind of using more notes on the same strings between different hands than we were on that first section. So here's the first part of the bridge. So here we're doing the 6th fret on the A string with our middle finger on our left hand. Then the 5th fret on the D string with our pointer finger. So those are hammer-ons. Once again, that's still tapping. Then we're going to play the 8th fret on the D string with our pointer finger on our right hand. Then I use my pinky on my left hand. You could use your ring finger or your pinky to tap the 7th fret on the G string. Now notice that that's my fretting hand, my left hand, instead of my right hand. So it goes left, left, right, left. So after we do that, we're going to play the 6th fret again on the A string, then the 5th fret. Once again, those 2 are with the fretting hand. Then we're going to hammer on to the 8th fret on the D string with our right hand pointer finger. Then we're going to play the 8th fret on the G string with our middle finger. And after we do that, we're going to put our pinky down on the 7th fret on the G string so that we can pull our middle finger of our plucking hand, our right hand, off, and then leave the 7th fret of the G string down with our pinky of our fretting hand. So we get this nice little pull off. So that's going to sound like 6, 5, 8, 7, then 6, 5, 8, 8, pull off to 7. So let's do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I also wanted to mention that this section is in 3/4 time, so the other section was in 4/4. So instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to be counting 1, 2, 3. So now that we've got this, the next part, so this is going to be the 5th fret on the A string, and I like to use my pointer finger for that on the fretting hand. Then we're going to use the middle finger to play the 5th fret on the D string. Then our right hand pointer finger is going to play the 8th fret on the D string. Then our pinky of our left hand is going to play the 7th fret on the G string. Then we're going to play the 5th fret on the A string, again, the same finger. Then the 5th fret on the D string, the middle finger once again on the left hand. Then we're still going to do the 8th fret on the right hand this time on the D string. And then we're going to use our middle finger of our plucking hand, our right hand, to hammer on to the 8th fret of the G string. Then we're going to do that little pull off where our plucking hand, our right hand middle finger, is going to release, pull off to the 7th fret, which is being held down by the left hand. And that's the 7th fret on the G string. So far we've got okay, so let's do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to shift our left hand down, and we're going to play the 3rd fret on the A string with our pointer finger, the 5th fret on the D string with our ring finger. Then we're going to play the 8th fret on the D string with our pointer finger, and the 8th fret on the G string with our middle finger of our plucking hand. So we've got. Then we're going to play the 3rd fret on the A string, 5th fret on the D string. Then we're going to go to our plucking hand again, the 8th fret on the D string, and then we're going to reach up to the 10th fret. You can either use your middle or your ring finger. I'm going to use my middle today. And that's going to be the 10th fret on the G string. And then you can either do a pull off here, 10 to 8, or you could just pluck one and then pluck the other. And then last but not least, we're going to do this part. This is the last little part of the bridge section. So let's go over that, and then we'll go over the entire bridge. So we're going to play the 3rd fret on the E string with our pointer finger, the 5th fret on the D string with our ring finger. Then on our plucking hand, we're going to do the 8th fret on the D string. And then I like to use my middle finger for that one so that my pointer finger is free to do the 9th fret on the G string. And then we go 3, 5 again. Then the 8th fret on the D string. And then we do the 10th fret on the G string. So far we've got. And when I come back to the 8th fret on the D string, I typically use my pointer finger instead of my middle finger this time, although you could stick to using your middle finger and use your pinky for the other note. To me, it's just easier to switch out here. So that's 3, 5, then this time our pointer finger on the 8th fret of the D string, and then whichever finger you want, your ring finger or your middle finger on the 10th fret of the G string. So far we've got. Then we've got the 8th fret on the G string, and then we're going to do this little hammer-on pull-off thing where we push down on the 7th fret of the G string with our pointer finger on our plucking hand, and then we're going to hammer on to the 8th fret with our middle finger of our plucking hand, and we're going to pull that finger off, but leave the pointer finger still down. So we get 7, 8, 7 as a little hammer-on pull-off combination. And then we're going to pull off our pointer finger, 7th fret at that point, and we're still with our left hand pushing down the 5th fret of the G string. And when I say still, I mean it wasn't really one of the notes we pushed down, but we just have our pinky ready to push that note down while we're doing all this other stuff, and then we leave it down so that we get that little hammer-on pull-off thing. So it's a lot to think about, but that's the B section. So essentially, we just do that whole entire thing twice. So let's just play that together one time for now. So we're starting back at the beginning of the B section. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now that we've gotten through the bridge section, we're through the hardest part of the whole entire piece. So the last section of the song is just the A section again with one extra measure on the end. I'm not going to go over the whole thing. I'm just going to play it and then show where it changes. We still got the same first 4 measures, and now we're just adding a 5th measure at the very end of the A section. And that very last measure is just going to sound like this. 1 a lit and 2. And then we hold it out for the rest of the measure. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to have this hand just ready, just waiting, with the 5th fret on the D string pushed down. We're not hammering onto it, it's just already down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to play the 7th fret on the D string with our pointer finger of our right hand. Then we're going to hammer on to the 9th fret of the D string. Then we're going to pull off while still leaving our pointer finger down. Okay, so we got 7, hammer on to 9, pull off to 7, and then we're going to pull off to 5, all on the D string. And then now we're going to hammer on with our fretting hand, or our left hand, to the 3rd fret on the E string. And that's it. So let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now let's play the last A section in its entirety with this ending on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright guys, that's it for this lesson. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to tap on the U-bass. If you like lessons like these, please subscribe for more. I've got one coming for you every single Tuesday. If you'd like to request an arrangement of a song or a specific type of lesson, please become a patron.